let's jump into the incentives that you have available to you to go solar. There are some really great incentives in Oregon, and I'm going to walk through them now. The Energy Trust of Oregon provides solar incentives. The state of Oregon provides a solar and storage rebate. And the country, the federal government, provides a solar investment tax credit. Energy Trust incentives come in two flavors. There's their standard incentive, which is $600. There's also a solar within reach incentive that for Pacific Power customers is up to $6,000, and that is based on your income. If you're below a pretty generous income threshold, you may have access to that, and I'll talk about that more in a second. One thing to note is that Energy Trust of Oregon is specific to the utilities they serve. That includes Pacific Power. It does not include the Hood River Electric Co-op or Cascade Electric, Municipal Electric. The solar and storage rebate is up to $5,000 for solar and up to an additional $2,500 for energy storage if that battery is tied to a solar system. And that both of these two first incentives, your contractor will apply for upfront, pass that on to you, and you'll get those incentives immediately. The solar investment tax credit is an incentive that's been around since 2008 and was just extended by recent legislation, and the rate went back up to 30% for that tax credit. And so you'll be able to take advantage of that. You do that on your taxes when you file the following year. And so just note that big incentive, the 30% one, is something that you have to have tax liability, and you don't get it immediately, but you get it soon after. So a couple of quick notes about Energy Trust of Oregon's Solar Within Reach incentive. Again, this is a tremendous incentive, up to $6,000 for Pacific Power customers. And this is, you are qualified for this incentive if you fall below certain, like I said, pretty generous income thresholds. An example is that a family of four can earn no more than $112,860. You'll see in the links that were in the chat, a link to more information about that incentive, and you can see all of the income brackets there. A couple of notes about the state solar plus storage rebate. Like I said, up to $5,000. Anybody in the state can take advantage of that. $5,000 for solar, up to $2,500 for storage. When I say up to, it is a $1 per watt incentive, just like the solar within reach. And there are different rates based on your situation. So it is 20 cents per watt of your system size if you are in Pacific Power and have access to Energy Trust of Oregon incentives. If you are in a utility that you do not have access to Energy Trust incentives, then it's 40 cents per watt. And if you meet certain income requirements and you fall below that threshold, it's actually $1.80 per watt. Let's take a look at an example budget for a solar system. This is often folks' favorite slide. Everybody is wondering, okay, well, how much does a solar system cost? I'm going to walk through an example, but please take this with a grain of salt, because there are a lot of factors that affect the cost of a solar system, including not least system size. So we're taking a look at an average 8 kilowatt solar system, and we're making some assumptions about this installation and basically assuming that it's a pretty easy install. So that being said, there are two columns. The middle column shows the cost up at the beginning before incentives. Then we're going to apply all the incentives. And that is for folks who do not have access to the income-based incentives. On the right column, that is for folks who do. And one thing to keep in mind is that the solar within reach and the state income-based incentives have different thresholds at which you're eligible. So you'll just have to keep that in mind. Your contractor will help you navigate all this and they'll apply for these incentives for you. So we're going to assume a pre-incentive cost for this 8 kilowatt system of $26,400 in both cases. This Solarize campaign gives you a discount, and that is $1,000 off of your system cost. So that is applied first. Then we're going to take a look at the Energy Trust of Oregon incentive. That for the middle column is $600. If you have access to solar within reach, that's again $6,000. This is for Pacific Power, by the way, this whole slide. I'm going to show another slide for Hood River Electric Co-op and Cascade Locks. After the Energy Trust incentive, we're going to apply the Oregon Department of Energy, the state solar plus storage rebate. That is $1,600 in this case for an 8 kilowatt system for somebody in Pacific Power. If you meet the income threshold, that is going to jump up to $5,000. So the out-of-pocket cost to the customer in this case is going to be $23,200 for folks who can't access the income-based incentives, and $14,400 for folks who can. The next year, when you apply for your taxes, you'll be able to apply for the 30% tax credit. And that's an additional almost $7,000 in the middle column or $4,300 in the right column, bringing the net cost of the installation to $16,000 roughly, or $10,000 roughly, respectively. This is the cost of the net cost of the installation before the installation starts to save you money. And so that's the whole point, is that your solar system will hopefully last for decades, and you'll be saving energy, and eventually the system will pay for itself. So let's take a look at a sample budget now for Hood River Electric Co-op or Cascade Locks. I'm not going to run through all the columns because we just saw on the last slide, but we're going to start with the same assumption of $26,400. We're going to apply the Solarize campaign discount of $1,000. Then the state rebate, $4,000 or $5,000 respectively. Remember, this is outside of Energy Trust territory, so that doesn't apply here. The out-of-pocket cost to customer is $21,000 for non-income based, or income-based incentives is $1,000 less at $20,000. Then after the incentive, they both drop down to roughly $15,000 or $14,000 respectively. So hopefully this gives you a qualified example of what a system could cost. Again, you're going to need to wait until you get a quote for your site to learn exactly how much it will be for you.